Another candle, another year. Come gather close, my loved ones. Come really near. Today we celebrate, we sing, and we say, it's my birthday. Come celebrate with me today. Yes, I like it. Welcome to another episode of Entre Abuelitas. I am your host and your birthday girl, Liliana Montenegro. Muchísimas gracias por continuar viéndonos en YouTube, oyéndonos en su canal favorito. Thank you so much for listening week after week and joining us and making this Entre Abuelitas community just grow as fast as we can. And please, tell a friend. You know, I remember there was a commercial that said that a lot, and I hope they're not upset, but I remember them. So tell a friend. Let's jump into Lily Talk. Oh, yeah, you heard a little laughter. That's my guest. Shh. Well, you'll see. It's such a wonderful show today. I hope you don't leave us. You know, people in my life, and not just family, but friends, have been a steady hand in my life's path, in the chapters and seasons of my life. But as friends, sometimes we all drift apart because life gets busy or we just go somewhere else, and it's never intentional. But the good thing about that is that when you have solid friendships, well, they turn right around and come right back into your life. That's why it is so important to have communication, especially when I talk about family members week after week. But today we talk about that special friendship, and you will know why. It is important that we communicate. In today's show, I turn 70 years old. And I have to tell you, I still feel 15. 15 in my soul. Because the only difference right now is that I know who I'm keeping in my life, who I'm letting go, and how to use kindness in order to decide about them both. I am turning 70, but my heart still remembers 15. I like to laugh too loud, love too deep, and I believe that life can still surprise me on a daily basis. Faith is what carries me forward. My belief that God loves me beyond measure because I'm that special child. Aren't you? I don't feel old. I feel grateful. And I do have a much better understanding of what love really is. Love of family, love of friends, or the love of a relationship. My friends, my listeners, my Entre Abuelita community. Aging with grace is not about pretending that we have not been touched by time. It is making peace with time. At 70, I already know everything I need to know about me. I am the one who needs no more questions asked, and I don't have to explain myself to anybody. And sometimes, it is much better to be quiet than to speak out loud because that silence carries so much further. I can now look at my life with softness. And it doesn't mean that I had an easy life. It just means that I survived it. Oh, isn't that amazing? Thank you, God. But at the same time, you have to remember that along the way, you have to learn forgiveness. Forgiveness of self and forgiveness of others. Because we have to let go of everything that weighs us down. I do believe that you should always have laughter in your life, great friendships, conversations that heal, and definitely love. Lots of love. At this point of my life, I know my worth, and I live gracefully and gratefully. I have finally settled into myself, and I love it. I finally know who I am. Well, who am I? But listen, turning 70, I also realized that my Latina roots never left me. Mi patria, mi Perú, mi lomito saltado, mi ceviche tan rico. Everything that reminds me of Peru comes out in my voice, in my values, in the way that I passionately do everything in life, and in the way that I love those people that I want to keep near me. Even when life took me really far away, my beautiful family in Peru stayed near me because they were solidly planted and deeply rooted in me. Now you might be asking, okay, it's her birthday, let's talk about that, but why are you talking about Peru and why are you talking about 15? Because there are certain moments in life that stick with you. No matter where you go, what you do, there's no easy way of forgetting it. It will never happen. Let me tell you a little story, a short little story. When I was 15, when I turned 15, if you know a little bit about Latino culture, we carry this mourning and where when somebody passes in the family and you have to wear black. Well, the closer you are to the person that passed away, the longer you wear that black clothing in respect for their soul, their spirit, their legacy. No longer applies. As we know, many things changed through the years. So much has changed. But back then, my grandpa had died, and I was kind of like forced to wear black and white. And my 15th birthday came, and it was my mother, my father, my two brothers, and my grandmother. And we were poor. There was no big celebration. There was no money to be spent or, with extravagant DJs and things. None of that happened. We lived in Hollywood in a modest apartment. Life was very simple. And I remember my grandmother we had this little cake in the center of this little table, and she had brought a doll that she had made me back in Peru that I still have in my memory chest. And my mother's best friend at the time, brought a young girl who had just arrived also from Peru. She was 15 years old. And life, God, and the way that it all works out, it would be meant that that young girl that walked into my apartment to celebrate a birthday of someone she knew nothing about, we would become friends until today. So 55 years later, I invite her to Entre Abuelitas as a celebration not only of my birthday, of my deep appreciation for her, of the love that I have for her, because I love her to pieces, because we are the most different women that you could ever find on this earth. There is not much that we are alike in. We like different things. We act different ways. We believe sometimes. But the love, the love has always been there, and no matter where we went, we would regain connection so that we can again get to meet each other all over again and enjoy the life and the memories that they were creating along our paths, even though they were not together. Now, my friend is a beautiful woman. I now find her living in Texas, and she's going to share with us also her beautiful story of reinvention. Please, please, with all of your heart, welcome to the Entre Abuelitas stage, a woman I adore, Anita Marrone.
Thank you, Liliana. Thank you for such an introduction. I'm honored to be in your show, and I hope that I make you proud.
Yeah. Oh, mamita, you're making me more than proud just being here. It is important to showcase to people how amazing us women can be, that we can hold on to friendships for so many years. I mean, can you imagine 55 years, Anna?
55 years. And I still remember the day I walked into your house
Tell
on
me
your
what you
birthday.
remember. Uh-huh. Tell
Yeah, I
me.
remember it because Aida was my aunt's friend. And she
Mm-hmm.
says to me, how would you like to go to a 15-year-old birthday party? You're going to meet this amazing girl. And I said,
Oh,
sure, let's go. So she took me there. And that's when I first met you,
yeah.
so it was just such a blessing to get to know you.
Oh, my love. It's been a different road, but how blessed are we that we are still here to talk about it.
Mm-hmm.
God
Definitely.
is really, really good. But let's talk about your arrival in the United States. How did coming here to United States, and then all of a sudden, how long had you been here before I met you?
Okay, when I met you in March, I had just arrived in November of the prior year,
Uh-huh.
1970. See, what happened is that the year before in 69, I had come with my mom to the US to visit my aunt.
Mm-hmm.
And so I loved the city, I loved everything that I saw, so I went back home. And the following year, my aunt came to visit, and she asked me if I wanted to come to study here. And I said, "Oh yeah, I will come." But of course, my father, said, "Are you sure, hija? Are you
Oh.
sure you're gonna leave us?" I said, "No." I said, "It's a great opportunity. I need to practice my English. I've been studying English all these years, but I
Hmm.
have no one to talk to." And so yeah, that's when I came. I came to to a school that was so completely different than what I
Yes.
was. The school that I went was all girls. We were a uniform. The teachers come to you. You don't go to them. So it was a
Right.
culture shock, going to a public school, mixed school, not having to wear uniform. So it was amazing experience.
How long did it
And
take you, more or less, to settle in?
it took me right away.
Yeah.
I was one of those people that I want to be like everybody else. I didn't want to be classified as anybody different. I wanted to be just an American like everybody else.
That is wonderful.
Yeah.
So I was thinking about something. Now, we were 15. We were both young girls, but life moved fast right after that.
Oh yeah.
Talk to me because I was remembering a story, but I'll bring it after I talk to you. Soon,
Okay.
I mean, what was it? 2 years and you got married?
Yeah. I mean, I met my first husband when I graduated from at the party when I graduated from ninth grade. And so him and I got along really well, and we
Hmm.
started dating. We started dating. We started going out. My aunt met him. I met his parents. He was from Argentina. So I told him, I said, "You talk to me in English because I need to learn the language well." So we started talking in English without any difficulties. And um, 2 years into the relationship, um, we had a situation to where, my aunt wanted me to go back home
Oh,
because
no.
her relationship wasn't working out too well, and she was going to get a divorce.
Oh, I
And my
remember.
and my ex-husband, he was from Argentina and had to go to the army. And so in order for avoid all those situations, we said, let's get married. So I was 17 years old when I got married, and
How
he
old was
was
Carlos?
18.
He was 18.
Carlos, yeah.
Yeah.
And so my dad come. I had to go to a special counseling, a special,
Are you sure you want to get
yeah,
married,
yeah. Are
woman?
you sure you were gonna get married at 17? Because I had nowhere else to go. If I didn't
Right.
get married, I had to go back home. You
No,
know,
that wasn't going to happen.
so we got married and we went to live with his parents. So I was the daughter that she was missing, my
Was that in
mother-in-law
Burbank?
in Burbank. Yeah.
Do you know what story I remembered? Do you remember when I ran away from home
Yes, I remember when you ran away from home.
with my boyfriend
Yes.
and we went to your house in Burbank?
Now I'm going, oh my goodness, Liliana, you're gonna get in trouble. Your mom was so strict, you know.
Oh, yes.
Your
Oh,
mom
my
was
mom.
very strict.
She was
But
very, very
she let you
tough.
come and visit me,
But
you know.
listen, the funny part is, to all of you who are listening, who thinks, okay, who nowadays would think of running away from Hollywood to Burbank? Do you not think that they're going to find you?
You were not driving, so
We couldn't get far.
no, we didn't. No. Oh
What a
my goodness.
beautiful memory. What a
Oh.
beautiful memory. And then I remember also that in my first marriage, you and Carlos were my bridesmaid with
Yes,
him.
yes, I remember.
Yes.
I have pictures, yeah, between, of the two of us dressed up, in
You
my
were
pink
so cute
dress.
together. You were so cute together. I remember you had, yes, a long pink dress. He was wearing a white jacket with black trim and black pants, and you
Yes,
both looked so handsome. You
I
both looked
know. It was
so.
such a beautiful wedding.
Oh, it was. Do you know that that church shortly after burned down?
Oh, wow. No, I didn't know that.
Yes, I was very sad to hear because I didn't know what was going to happen to my life if the church burned down. What was going to happen to me? What was going to happen to that marriage?
I
I
know.
think I think it was a warning.
Oh my gosh. Oh my gosh.
It was the Los Angeles Cathedral actually.
Oh,
It
yeah, I
burned
don't even
down.
remember the
It
church.
was like 4th Street or something downtown, but it was beautiful. It was big, tall. We went up all the stairs, walked down the red carpet. It was just a beautiful day. But
Yeah.
then life moved on.
Yeah. Life
And
moved on.
where did you go from there?
Well, Carlos and I were married 8 years. And in
Mhm.
that time period, we had our daughter, Jennifer.
Mhm.
And him and I went separate ways. And I became a single mom. I mean, I didn't have any family here. I had no other than just friends, so I had to work. I had to work. I prayed that my daughter didn't get sick. And I prayed that I was healthy enough to
So you
continue
wouldn't
going.
miss work.
Yeah,
Is
I
oh,
was afraid to miss work.
isn't that crazy? We were yeah. I mean, I
Mm-hmm.
had 2 and 3 jobs. I mean, if
Yeah,
money is bad now, it always has been for the younger generations
yeah.
to get a good paying job. But sometimes back then it used to be like you will be nothing without going to school. Now is all technical things. Everything has how it
Mm-hmm.
has moved forward, which I love. But
Mm-hmm.
the you made a comment. You said I was alone. I had no family. Let me backtrack a little bit and talk a
Mm-hmm.
little bit about Lima. What
Mm-hmm.
did you miss about Lima?
Nothing.
No?
I
What
did
about
not miss. I did not miss anything. I didn't miss my
funny?
parents. I didn't miss my brothers and sisters. I was happy in the U.S. I
Did
didn't. I mean, I talk to my parents once in a while, you know, but little by little, let me
I didn't
tell
miss a
you, as
damn thing.
as the years go by, you get to start missing the food.
Of
You
course,
you
yeah.
start missing the music that your parents used to listen to.
As you
You
get
started
older.
missing those things. So it just takes time. But in the
Anita,
beginning, I was
but
having
Anita,
fun.
of course, but you had grandparents. Were you close to them?
No.
No.
My
On
my
on neither
father,
side?
my grandfather had remarried,
Uh-huh.
and they end up having four more kids.
Mm.
So my step grandma, per se, she was very busy, and then my mom's mom, she'll come and visit us, and she just come and sat in front of the TV, watch TV. She will come on Saturdays, and she will yell at my brothers, and because my brother will be in the
Mm.
middle of the television, and she'll say, "Move over there, move you don't let me see the TV." So I honestly did not have any good experience as a grandmother, and here I am. I am a grandmother of three. I have two step granddaughters, and I
Mhm.
have my grandson Alfonso. So I had to learn to be a grandmother.
Yes.
I don't know what it's like to be a grandmother.
I know.
So
And how do you like it?
I love it. I love,
Oh!
spoiling them. I'm ready to jump in. Do you need something? Do you want to go somewhere? So especially
No.
when I go to California, because I see my stepdaughters every year. Twice a
Mhm.
year I go there, and every
Right.
other Christmas I spend time with them. So I split
Now,
my Christmas.
right. Let's clarify for the audience. When
Yes.
you are a California girl, but
Yes.
you finally retired. What year was that?
I retired in 2016.
In
In
2016.
2016.
And
And
but before that, your second marriage was from when to when?
okay, so I remarried again in 1987.
Okay.
And my marriage lasted again 7 years. In 94, I got divorced, and in 95, I ended up meeting my late husband, my third husband, which was such a blessing. He was the most
A
caring and loving
sweetheart.
man.
A
He
sweetheart.
was a widow himself. He had three kids,
Mhm.
15, 11, and 6. And my daughter had just started going to college. So
Mhm.
here I am starting again. And I
Right.
was like, oh my goodness, I'm going to be a stepmom again because my second marriage, I had a stepdaughter too. So
Okay.
she's the one that I got the experience from. By the time I married Jim, I had some experience.
Well,
But
I have to ask you really quick, and let me jump in because this is so important to the newer, younger generations to know. Please tell us how you met Jim and
well, let me tell you, I have been because I've worked with computers.
Uh-huh.
Okay, I was a computer operator. I became a programmer. So I was always with computers in the finance area. So I was always looking for ways to meet people because I didn't want to go to the bars. And you and I will
That
go
was
out
me.
dancing and
Oh
have fun,
yeah.
And
Loved our
so I said,
dancing.
there has to be other ways to meet people. So I did photo dating.
Ah,
I did,
didn't you do that one that was like quick that you go person to person?
Great Expectations
That
was one of the biggest
oh
things
my
where they
God.
sell. But in Great Expectations, you really had to be all sexy and all that. And me, I'm just a simple
That's
person.
the one that
So
you
anyway,
spend like 5 minutes per person and you keep moving down the table?
yeah, yeah,
Wow.
So
Wow.
I went there. But the way I met Jim was that I had bought my personal computer. That was in 1995. People
Brand
were
new.
starting to buy
Just coming
computers.
out. Uh-huh.
So anyway, I had the internet, but we didn't have Windows like we have it now. We used
Mm-hmm.
to have what they call work groups.
Uh-huh.
But within the time frame, there was a section in there that if you wanted it to find somebody, you can fill up the form and start asking all these questions. And I did. I filled it out. I'm telling you, I filled it out on Friday. And by the next day,
You were
I had
married.
3 guys responding. I'm going, whoa.
Oh my God. Okay, ladies and gentlemen, you have to know as much as generations change, we started something back then, that you are now have, of course, bettered, but through the years it's gotten much better. Of course, what you just said about you had 3 guys by the next day. I know people who are on different dating sites. It's not as nice anymore. Things have changed even with men and women. It's a lot of pretense, a lot of fakeness, and
Yeah.
that's hard for me to deal with. Really,
It
really is.
it was hard for me too because I was very courageous to do that and
Yes,
adventurous,
you're my hero.
you know. And like when I met Jim and we started talking because he put his phone number in there, so I called him.
Oh,
And so yeah,
right
I called
away.
him. Yeah, he
What
gave
did
me
you
his
say?
phone
I'm
number.
application 347-T.
So anyway, and I invited him over where I
Oh.
worked. So I had my friend that worked in my company. I said, okay, tell me what does it look like? He goes, well, he looks pretty good. So
Aw,
we went out.
qué
We
lindo.
went to Universal City and we talked for hours and he
How
was
soon
the
after
best
did you
person.
marry?
We were married from 1999 to 2017 until he passed away. We met, 4 years before. He wanted to get married like a year after we met. He gave me an
Mhm.
engagement ring like within 3 months. And I'm going,
Oh,
oh my
qué
goodness, I'm not ready
bello,
to get married yet.
qué bello.
First I need to see what it's like to live with you and the children,
Of
and
course.
see what it's like, to have a big family like that
Mhm,
because it's always been me and Jenny, you know.
mhm.
So, but
But it was a
he
wonderful
was,
thing that happened to you and to
yes,
Jenny because
yes,
Jim was just a steady force in your life. He was the
yeah,
kindest individual I've ever met. He
yeah,
loved you beyond measure and your daughter and
yeah,
her and his children. And
yes,
I mean, you couldn't have asked for a better blessing in Jim's life. And we're so sorry to see him go, but God had
yeah,
other
so
wishes for
young,
him. So young, so young. But
yeah,
you did enjoy quite a few years with him, and that's the good
yes.
part. Now, after he passes, you move on, retire, and then all of a sudden you come with some health issues.
Yeah, I fell down and I couldn't move. I mean, I was trying to lift a 50-pound generator and I felt something happen in my back. But on that particular day, I felt like I moved like nothing. But the next day, when I got up, I
Mm-hmm.
couldn't walk. I couldn't walk. I was in so much pain that I had to have people, friends from my church, come and help me.
Wow.
And I finally had to go to the hospital because I didn't know what was happening, you know. And so when I got home, my daughter had to come with her family. She was working from home.
Mm-hmm.
And so she was able to come, and they drove 2 days. And I have friends stay with me until I started to get better in the sense that I had to go to the chiropractors, I had massages, I did whatever I took to get better. And what got me better was when I did a spinal decompression.
Tell us about what is that?
They strap you, they strap you around your hip and the machine opens up your vertebrae little by little. It's like a
Oh,
50-pound or 60-pound weight, but it doesn't hurt.
it stretches it?
It
It
stretches
it
just
opens
fine.
it up.
Yes, opens it up.
Oh,
So I did
wow.
that for like a month and a half.
It actually sounds really good.
3 times a week, I went, and that got me to 92% because
Oh.
I couldn't walk. I was pretty much afraid that I was going to be, in a wheelchair or
But you
something.
are so strong and so determined and so resilient. You are not afraid of anything because not only that, but your faith sees you through a lot. Because
Yes,
nowadays you have another health issue that you're dealing with
yes.
that is a bit more common with our listeners. Share that with us.
Well, in August of 2003, I had already moved here to Texas. I moved here in March of 2021. So the 1st of March is going to be 5 years that I've been here now in
Oh,
Texas.
happy anniversary. That's tomorrow, baby.
Yeah, tomorrow is going to be 5 years that I've been here. And so when I came here, well, we 3.5 years have passed since Jim had passed away. And Jenny and Miguel called me and they said, well, Mom, I said, we're afraid that you're all by yourself over there. I know you see the kids and the grandkids and stuff, it says, but I'm worried about you.
Mhm.
And I was wondering if you would consider moving to Texas. And at that
Mm,
time, I had just begun to get into my routine, being
mhm.
by myself. And
Right.
to tell you the truth, I hated it being alone in
Oh,
the house. I
yeah.
hated it, especially at night, coming home after an event to an
Right.
empty house.
Wow.
And
Yeah.
that was kind
Mm.
of like carrying the weight. During the day, I didn't have a problem. I was going
Right.
to church, I was going to Bible studies, I was busy, not
Mhm.
a problem. But at night, it was the hardest thing for me. So when my
Wow.
daughter said that to me, I said, I'll move.
Of
You
course.
know, of course, my stepchildren, they were so sad. But Anna,
Yeah.
when are we gonna see you? They were all so worried,
I know.
about me leaving. So
But
so
Anita,
yeah,
I have to just give my 2 cents here. Because the generations have changed, because the beliefs, the values, everything has changed. It's not many, excuse me, many children who would ask their parents to move in. What your daughter has done is such a huge gift. Not only that, but you get to enjoy all of your life with them and with your grandson. And what a blessing. What a
it is
blessing that you're
definitely a
looked after.
blessing because it's not just only her; it's her husband too.
You have said that, and
Without
that
her
is even
husband,
better.
she would have not been able to do it.
Miguel
He
is a
had to
sweetheart.
agree. Yeah, he had to agree. So it has been a blessing. Living here in Texas, we moved to a bigger house. I have a nice room. I end up getting rid of 95% of my stuff. And
We
that
don't
was the
need all that
saddest part.
stuff.
I had too much. I had too much stuff. And I still have a storage with some things in there,
Right.
you know?
We have to get
But
rid of
it
those
took
too.
me a while. Yeah, it took me
But
a while to adjust,
Mhm,
here.
mhm.
But once I got into my church and Bible studies, into the community, I drive around, the city. I don't like to go to downtown Houston, but around here, I've developed friendships. So I wouldn't move. I'm happy here. The weather is crazy. It's cold, it's hot, it's thunderstorms, and but it is
Well,
what it
let's
is.
let's go back to the little. I think we forgot. We were so happy talking about Jenny and Miguel that we totally forgot that we were going to talk about what you're going through now.
Yeah,
Only because, look, we've already been talking so long. The show is almost over, but I do want to touch on this point. Didn't I tell you that it
yeah,
would go fast?
I
But
know.
what happened? How did you notice? And what was the diagnosis?
Okay. So in August 23, I slipped and I was holding to the door and the door frame. So, and I didn't want to fall to the floor hard because I
Hmm.
had my back problems, so I was holding it so hard. And then 2 months later, I was sitting down on my desk and I was studying. All of a sudden, I saw my hand started to shake. And I'm going, what is this? What is that? Where did this come from? You know?
Hmm.
And so I immediately started reading, looking at things. And then,
Dr. Google.
yeah, I mean, I started doing everything that I could. And I found this chiropractor that did some plasma shots.
Hmm.
And so they will take my own blood and they will inject the plasma around my neck and my shoulder because I couldn't move my arm, because I put such a strength to hold myself that I did something to my arm. I couldn't move it.
Hmm.
So I did that for a while. Then I found another chiropractor neurologist, and she did a complete exam on me and she told me that I had resting tremors. So we tried all these different kinds of activities and therapies and things, but the tremors will not go away.
What are resting tremors?
Resting tremors is Parkinson's, pretty much, you
Parkinson's
know.
disease.
But by this time, I went to, I was going to my physicals. And so my
Hmm.
doctor says, Anna, it's time that you go and see an MD neurologist, moving disorder, to find out exactly what is the problem with you. So in June of last year, finally went to the neurologist and she did all these exams. I had an MRI on my brain and everything, and they didn't really find anything other than
Very
just
good. That's good.
aging.
Hmm.
No, nothing that they will say, oh, yeah, you have this, you have Parkinson.
Right.
No, but it was the effects of Parkinson. I mean, I was having trouble walking. I couldn't write. Like I felt like my hand had a brick. I
Oh.
couldn't write well. And you can see sometimes on my voice, sometimes,
Hmm.
I
You kind
slowness a
of.
little bit in
Oh,
my
okay.
voice. So anyway,
Hesitation.
I was terrified in the sense that, oh my gosh, I'm going to have to start taking medicine, because up to this point, I did not take any kind of medicine at all,
Right.
you
Right.
know? So she
Which I agree
prescribed.
wholeheartedly with. I don't like
Yeah.
medications.
So she did, after all these tests and everything, she said to me, you know what, you have Parkinson's, but it's in beginning stage of Parkinson. It is a progressive disease,
Hmm.
and it just depends on how you live your life. You have to exercise, you have to walk, you have to, do everything, try to live a normal life, and don't focus so much on the disease, because, that's not something that you want to do, And so, of course, I go and get a massage, I go and get, my back adjustment, I get, stretching
A little
exercise, I go
Botox over
walking.
here and you boyfriend over there. I get it all done.
I'm
Parkinson's
telling
or
you,
not.
I I do whatever I can because I
Course.
don't want it to progress.
Of course not.
I don't want it to
But
progress.
the thing is, Anita,
So,
that
I mean,
what
I'm
you're
okay.
saying,
I've accepted it.
what you're saying about the exercise, the routine, the moving, the this and that, it applies to everything for people our age. I don't care what you are going through. If you don't keep that body moving, if you don't keep that brain thinking and being creative every single day of your life, it's going to slow down. It's going to stop eventually. And then what? You want to keep moving, pushing forward.
Yeah.
Now, are you feeling about this diagnosis now? How are you dealing with it?
Well, the way I look at it is if God has been able to get me through my life, protecting me, protecting my daughter, and this is what I have now, then I accept it. I accept it, and I feel that He's gonna get me through it,
Of course.
and when it's my time to go, it's my time to go. So I'm
Ditto.
ready. Either way, I'll see Jesus and I'll see my gym.
I think that's a country song. I'll see Jesus. Let's sing it together.
I mean, I'm if it wasn't because of my faith, I think I would have been in a different position now.
Yes.
But since I have accepted the Lord since I was in my 50s, He has been, or I have been walking with Him every single day. When Jim passed away, it was my faith that kept me going. I didn't
Absolutely.
crumble. I didn't fall apart. I knew what I had to do,
You
you
accepted
know,
it.
and I know I have my stepchildren and I care for them
Mm-hmm.
and I will do anything for them as I would do for my daughter. So for me, I have 4 kids,
Of course.
and my grandkids, my Jillian and Brianna and Alfonso, I love them to
Mhm.
pieces,
And I want to make sure that they all get a copy of this recording because you have mentioned them in the air and the world is going to know them. Because my intention is that the world knows about Entre Abuelitas.
Yeah.
You are an abuelita, you are a beautiful woman, you are so resilient, you are moving forward with positivity, optimism, and more than anything with faith. If you have a piece of advice or something you want to say to a loved one, or how it is that you would like to end your visit here in Entre Abuelitas.
Well, I want to say that you need to have faith in God. You need to have faith in Jesus. You need to treat each other with love and with care. You know, Moms are only one. Once she's gone, she's gone. You know. So like Jesus said, make amends. You cannot let day by day go by without making amends. Forgive and love.
Absolutely.
Love each other.
Absolutely. Thank you so much, Anita. It has been
You're
such a
welcome.
pleasure to talk to you, to see your beautiful face, to realize that 55 years later, we can still have the same love for each other. This friendship of ours is a gift. It's an absolute gift, and I wouldn't trade it for anything in the world. Happy birthday to
To you.
me.
Happy
Happy birthday
birthday
to
to
me.
you. Happy birthday, dear Lily. Happy birthday to you.
Thank you, mi Anita linda. And to all of you, thank you for welcoming my beautiful friend into Entre Abuelitas. Thank you for sticking around with us. I wanted to share one thing before we left, and that is my birthday wish, which at the age of 70 is mighty simple. May God keep my faith strong and my family close, and my sense of humor, well, fully intact, because I have a feeling that as the years go by, I'm really going to need it. I hope love and joy keeps finding me every day. And to that 15-year-old girl with big dreams and no idea of what the world was all about, I send you a kiss and I say, thank you, Lily. You made it. Thank you for joining us on Entre Abuelitas. I'm Liliana Montenegro. Thank you for wishing me happy birthday because I know you are. Gracias, Anita. Thanks to all for watching and listening. Until the next time. Adios.